Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Episode 3, called The Asset. So what happened in this episode? We get to see this big bad guy. Call him a billionaire. He doesn't trust S.H.I.E.L.D., he doesn't trust government, and he wants to take control of this item that can control gravity. So his name is Ian Quinn, I think his name is. So we get to see that S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously wants to try to get this weapon from Ian Quinn, and the one person that can do it is Skye, because she's a new agent. She's not breaking any rules, so she goes in, tries to get the item, and there's a whole adventure with that, of course, and in the end, we get to see the scientists who used to work with S.H.I.E.L.D. Want to destroy this gravity machine, and obviously he was doing the wrong thing by doing this, because he had to actually use it to destroy it and to save mankind. And in the end, Coulson saves the day and brings the scientists into the machine. And it's kind of like, I would say, a Silver Surfer type silver look going on for this machine. Agent Coulson shoots the glass and the scientist falls into the machine. And the last credit scene, we get to see that the scientist is still stuck there, so I'm guessing he'll get powers or something. Will it be like a Silver Surfer type powers? I don't know, because are they still going on with the last Silver Surfer? Are they trying to do a new Silver Surfer maybe with a different origins? Because that could be interesting, because it seems like that type of material, but of course that has nothing to do with Silver Surfer's origins. But will it be that type of character, or is it a new character? Because he's obviously going to come back. Even if I didn't see the ending credits, I think it was kind of obvious that he was going to come back. But what did I think about this episode? Still not totally grabbed into the show. You know, I thought it was a good episode. You know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. You know, I was interested in the main story. I'm glad that they strayed away from the Avengers. They actually had a new item this time. But I feel like it's very formalistic, this series so far. I know it's only been 3 episodes, but I feel that there's no story arc going on. It's every episode, new monster, new villain of the week. And I'm not a particular fan of villain of the week type shows if there's no story arc really going on. There's a little story arc, could we trust Skye? Of course, that's the big story arc. We're developing these characters slowly, which is interesting. There's still something going on with Agent Coulson, especially now that he didn't remember how to use his gun, and that's kind of tricky. I think a lot of people are thinking he's a clone. I think that definitely could be right, because he's like, oh, it's muscle memory, I should remember this. So there's something going on with him. My guess is a clone. Some people are saying robot, but that's also a hint here. So they have those little story arcs that are going on, but there's not that humongous story arc where it has, you know, nothing to do with the characters that's developing through these villain of the month episodes, or villain of the week episodes, which is kind of a shame. That's what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could be special to get that big story arc, and I think that's something we're gonna have to wait for, and that's what's really gonna make the show good. I thought, honestly, the acting was a little off here. You know, Coulson had pretty good acting throughout, but there's this one scene I'm like, that didn't really sound right. And then Agent May also, when she was trying to go, she was talking to one of the agents and she decided not to go on the field, she shouts, I should be there, kind of thing, but she said it like with no emotion. So the acting's kind of off for me in this episode, so that was a little bit of a complaint. But honestly, I thought this episode was a lot better than the last episode, at least action-wise and story-wise. The effects were really good here. I felt they knew what they could do on television, what they couldn't do. Nothing really looked fake. I thought the levitation of the trucks were great, and there's a shield in this episode. Like, I guess a guard for one of the buildings, and that looked really good. So I thought the effects were an improvement here, and they knew what they were doing. I still like Skye and Ward. I think they definitely held the episode for me. I think those are the 2 most interesting characters. Everyone else is just Agent Coulson I really like, but I want to see more with him also. There was less comedy here, which I was actually surprised, but I guess that's a good thing because it wasn't so corny. It was more like, oh, we have some tidbits of humor here. So I thought that was good. Maybe a little bit more humor I usually like, but it was pretty good with the humor. But yeah, I think Skye and Ward was the most interesting here. But in the end, they started talking about their childhood, and I felt like it was kind of like forced, in my opinion. It felt like a forced telling of childhood than a moving monologue or moving dialogue between these 2 characters. It just felt like Skye's like, yeah, I was in an orphanage. It didn't feel so emotionally impacted like that first episode with the monologue between Michael Peterson and Coulson. There hasn't been those emotional moments yet, and that could have been an emotional moment that they just kind of missed on. So again, there's still some improvements they need. It seems a little stiff so far, but I'm still excited to see where it goes. And I think if they get a main story arc that you're like, oh my god, that's gonna happen. Especially with these endings, you could tell that, all right, Nick Fury was that last ending. This guy's the last ending. There's no actually ending where you're like, oh my god, that just happened. Is more fan service stuff that's been happening than it's like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next episode. This is gonna continue not for the next episode, but just for the whole season. Like, what is the story all about? So I hope we get to see more of that. It's only episode 3, so I can't really say anything. But so far, it's felt a little stiff, but I enjoyed this episode. It was an okay episode. I thought it was good. Better than the last episode, but the first episode so far was the best. But tell me in the comments below, what did you think about this episode? Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Do you have the same problems with me? Who is your favorite character? Who you think did the best here? Tell me in the comments below. And guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the rant situations. And don't forget to like my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later.